Well, hey, I'm Phil Heimlich. I'm a conservative Republican, though I lean libertarian. I'm also a follower of Christ, and I call this podcast The Radical Middle. I'd like to talk about the protests, specifically the violence that has occurred in Los Angeles the past few days. Now, the cause of this has been the deportations, and I don't mean the deportations of violent criminals. I'm talking about people who have been law abiding citizens that have lived a crime free life here, have worked hard, and yet they're being picked up and sent back to a country that they probably haven't been in for many, many years. Probably the worst example of this was right here in Cincinnati, a guy named Emerson Calandres. Now, this is a kid. He just graduated from high school. He was a star soccer player, a great student. Everybody liked him. Yet he's been picked up and deported to Honduras, one of the most dangerous countries in the world. But the thing is that he came to this country when he was 8. His parents brought him here. He had no say in the matter. But to arrest him and send him back where he's going to be threatened with gang violence and poverty, I just think it's cruel, absolutely cruel and unethical. Let's talk about the response. Was it necessary to send in the National Guard and the Marines like Trump has done? Absolutely not. This wasn't riots like the Rodney King ones and that kind of thing. This is violence, but it didn't require the army to go in there. This was just a political stunt that Trump did. But still, putting all that aside, let's talk about the violence. There was violence. There were cars burned and bombs set off. Here's how I look at it. No matter how wrong the deportation policy is, and no matter how unjustified it was for Trump to send in those military guys, there is no justification for violence. None. When Martin Luther King led the civil rights movement, he always said, do not respond to force with force. No matter what they do to us, he'd say, we're not going to respond with violence. And that strategy won him the support of Americans throughout the country, which led to the passage of the Civil Rights Bill. When those protesters in Los Angeles, however few, committed acts of violence, they lost the narrative. I think that people throughout the country would have been supportive of them if that hadn't occurred, because there is never any excuse for violence. I'm Phil Heimlich, and this is The Radical Middle.